Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be taking a look at some more Sonic Frontiers. I know I said when I first did the original video on this, I'll keep up with IGN's thing. I completely forgot, to be honest. I wasn't on this channel, I wasn't subscribed to IGN, so I was like, oh yeah, there's more Sonic stuff. They said they're going to be bringing weekly stuff out. So we've got a couple of videos to catch up on. In this video, we're going to be looking at their first hands-on impression and the combat gameplay. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at 2 interviews they've done. I just looked at the intros just to see what they're about. So there's 2 videos that are about interviews with Team Sonic, and then there's 2 videos that are sort of more gameplay focused. So we're going to look at the gameplay focus today. I was intrigued by the last, what we saw last, and a little skeptical just because of how barren and dead the world feels. Maybe through this gameplay footage, the interviews will start to maybe feel more and see more of the game and figure out what the hell's going on, because I'm super intrigued by a potential open world RPG Sonic game. It's just something we've not seen and could be really good. Could be a bag of shit. We don't know. It's Sonic after all. So first up, we're going to be looking at the hands-on presentation, hands-on impressions from almost a month ago. So let's have a look. I'm hoping it's not just more recycled stuff of what we saw before.
Sonic's done a lot in 30 years.
Oh, we have a dude talking this time.
High-speed 2D platformer, an Olympic athlete, a respectable kart racing enthusiast, a fighter, a TV star, and a Hollywood blockbuster movie star as well. But he's never done open world.
No.
And Sonic Frontiers fixes the...
We didn't actually see this in the last video, which I kind of thought at the end, are we seeing a work in progress build, a slice of the game, a proof of concept kind of thing? Seems like we might be. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Change that. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first people outside of Sonic Team to go hands-on with Sonic Frontiers, and let me just say, if you're worried about how the blue blur will fare in this unfamiliar genre, well, I think Crush 40 probably put it best. Open your heart, it's gonna be alright.
Who? Crush 40? What?
The first thing that struck me about Sonic
Frontiers
Frontiers was...
Ooh, you know what struck me, mate? This bloody glitch in the bottom corner. Look around here.
The thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers was how uniquely somber and serene it was right from the outset.
Yeah, I did say in the last video, it did feel somber and serene. I don't know. I say dead. But hey, I'm not getting paid to say this at IGN. Wink, wink.
After flying into a wormhole with Tails and Amy, Sonic finds himself separated from his friends and all alone on an isolated island.
So they came in with you. So they may be on the planet.
There's no one for Sonic to bounce quips off of, no energetic Crush 40 soundtrack, just wide open fields as far as the eye can see.
Oh, is Crush 40 the guy who did the music?
And it's a vibe that's driven home even further by the beautiful yet minimalist piano melodies that accompany Sonic as he explores the island.
Oh, so this music is... Okay, I didn't know if this was just IGN generic background music. This is from the game. Okay, so it's setting the scene.
All of this is a very intentional choice. I asked Sonic Team head Takashi Iizuka to describe how the tone of Sonic Frontiers differs from previous Sonic games, and he said, past games in the Sonic series have taken different tones depending on their stories and themes. This time, these mysterious islands are the game's major setting. That's why our artists have worked hard to create a mysterious mood. Of course, the big new change in Sonic Frontiers is the shift from purely linear levels to a huge open world where Sonic can freely run in any direction.
He's done partial open world in Sonic Adventures, like that was,
to describe Sonic Frontiers gameplay.
Open to an
Referring to
extent.
its style as being open zone. Open world games like Zelda or other AAA games fundamentally have RPG or adventure worlds. For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. Our basic idea was to have that take place in an open space. What sets Sonic Frontiers apart is this different approach to an open game world. Having played Sonic Frontiers for about 4 hours, it's easy to see what Iizuka-san means. Sonic Frontiers' open zone design is very different from any other open world I've played. It's a giant playground. Every few feet, there's a bumper spring that bounces you like a pinball between
Yeah,
5 other
okay,
bumpers
that breaks
before
it
putting you on one of
up
the
differently.
grindable rail tracks. Or a
Like
speed
Zelda,
sequence
that don't
on a
have like
completely different path leading to some other collectible or
random
reward,
things like
or
this.
a line of rings that you can lightspeed dash into. Essentially, they've taken that core appeal of every Sonic level having multiple paths that eventually loop back around to
It's a
the
bit
main
more
one and applied that to these giant
Lego
non-linear
based.
open
Like Lego
levels.
has a lot
One
of
thing
different paths you can take and random objects you can interact with, or you can just skip them all completely. Like,
that has to be noted is that very few of these elements are built into the environmental design, meaning that rails, platforms, boost rings, and so on are just inexplicably floating in the air all around, which
they have a reason.
isn't totally unusual for a Sonic game, but it feels especially
I like that little dig. I felt like a dig. Like, it's not unexpected that things are just floating around and, you know, hovering. It's like, is that it's broken?
jarring in Frontiers in particular because of the frequent and sudden pop-in of these objects and the otherwise very naturalistic art style.
Yeah.
Of course, it's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version that I played were from an early build, but this is definitely an area that I would hope to see improvement in the final version. Beyond that,
Okay, so there's potential that these weird spaghetti things in the sky, like all this is just essentially a complete test build. This island might not even make it into the real thing, and all these different linking systems might feel
definitely an area that I would hope to
a
see
little
improvement
more
in the final version.
organic
There are also a wide variety of puzzles
than
and
just
challenges that are littered throughout
thrown
the zone,
around.
and completing them is how you uncover sections of your map. Most of these are very simple, requiring you to orient a
Well, we haven't seen a map because there's no UI. Maybe that's intentional to not give anything away.
at you the correct way, quickly hop back and forth between colored tiles, or use Sonic's new side loop ability to draw circles around certain objects in the environment.
So this guy is literally just going over the last video we watched. We've given us a bit more information.
The openness of Frontiers level design makes straightforward races like these a ton of fun, because you have to try and improvise a path to the end that might not be immediately obvious.
You're racing that guy. Alright. Probably could have skipped this video. He's just given
some exceptions.
He's given some
Combat in traditional
extra
Sonic
things.
games generally isn't a thing that goes much deeper than jumping, rolling, or using a homing attack into enemies at the right time.
Basic.
That changes in Sonic Frontiers,
Alright.
which now has you fighting all sorts of wandering enemies and mini
Ooh, that
changes
kind
in
of...
Sonic Frontiers,
Look at the punch.
which now has
His arms looked a bit too spaghetti. A bit too... Like, look, ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
fighting all sorts of wandering enemies and mini-bosses using an all-new
But
array of incredibly flashy
early
attacks.
build.
It's not all style and no substance, though. Sonic is able to quickly dodge using the bumper buttons on the gamepad, and by pressing them together, he can even parry attacks with the right timing. His homing
Still
attack
button masher.
feels much
Fine.
more powerful, landing with a
Don't need
ton
to
of
be,
impact and keeping
you know,
Sonic
like
stuck to
Batman
his enemy,
Arkham
allowing
levels
for a
of
flurry of follow-up strikes.
combat.
One of the things I really appreciate about the combat from what I played is that there are usually multiple ways to deal with specific enemies. Like, take for example this guy, who has an impenetrable shell that he can expand into spinning blades and throw at you. One way to deal with him is just to carefully time your homing attacks so you don't get hit by the blades. But if you do that, the window to damage him is small.
Yeah.
To increase that window, you can either parry the blades and knock them away right before they hit you, or you can even use Sonic's side loop ability to encircle the enemy, which causes the shell to go flying upwards.
Yeah. I like that
These
they've
enemies will
added
reward
some
you
stuff
with
to it.
XP that you can use to purchase new skills from a skill tree, which gives Sonic Frontiers a really nice feeling of power
And loot boxes.
progression, even in just the relatively short amount of time that I played. Some of the later skills that you can get are just unbelievably cool, and it's super satisfying to see Sonic Team experiment with different ways that Sonic can attack enemies beyond just spins, jumps,
A
and
nice
bumps.
evolution.
In addition to these smaller enemies, there are also a handful of enormous world bosses that I had to contend with. These are near Shadow of the Colossus-esque in their scale, with one in particular against a beast named Asura, requiring Sonic to bait the Titan to slam the ground and then boost up its arm in order to reach the weak spots on its head. It's an ambitious boss battle, far beyond anything I've seen in the Sonic series to date, but it's also the part of the game that needs the most work. far too often I'd fly off the boss's arm without knowing why, or I'd get to the top and for some reason lack the momentum needed to actually reach
Doesn't,
the
yeah,
head.
the hit
Sonic
detections
must hunt down
are
and
like
defeat these bosses in order to collect the
interactive
portal
points,
gears,
look like they
which
need
will be
a bit of
portals
extra work.
that lead to bite-sized linear stages, done in the style of previous Sonic games, giving Sonic Frontiers a nice mix of both old and new styles. These classic levels each come with a handful of optional goals, like beating the level under a certain time, collecting all the red rings, and so on, with each goal rewarding you with a vault key, which are needed to unlock the coveted Chaos Emeralds.
Of course they're back. Of course they're back.
Sonic Frontiers is an exciting new step forward for the Sonic series into uncharted territory, and based on my time with it, Sonic Team seems to have hit upon a winning formula. There's certainly still work to be done before it's released during the holiday season. There's a lot of distracting pop-in, there's a fair amount of bugs still left to be
That's
squashed,
this year, guys.
and the big boss fights could do with some tweaking. But ultimately, my time with this early build answered the one question I had on my mind. Will Sonic's one-of-a-kind gameplay translate into an open world? The answer is a resounding absolutely. Thanks for watching, and tune into IGN
Absolutely.
for more Sonic Frontiers coverage.
Those
as
are
part of
strong
IGN
word,
First.
matey boy.
And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
So, like, this was essentially going over the last video. He did give a couple of, tidbits of information, which is good. The fact that it's an early build, things are still in progress, this and that. So let's take a look at more of the combat. Hopefully we don't have this guy talking.
IGN First continues on with yet another look at
Oops.
Sonic Frontiers gameplay, this time focusing on combat. Sonic is up against an all-new set of baddies, some of which are
So,
among the most massive
just went
bosses
through this a
we've ever
bit.
seen in a Sonic game.
I don't know how
Fortunately,
much different
Sonic's got
we'll
some new
see.
tricks up his sleeve. Make sure to stick with IGN all throughout June because we've got a full hands-on preview and interviews from the developers in store. For now though, enjoy the combat of Sonic Frontiers.
Wait, have I done these in the wrong order? Yeah. Oh, bollocks. Oh well. Oh well. So, let's see if there's anything different to what we saw before. Like I said, it's evolved. It's still button mashy. It's still sort of Q to E kind, which is fine. I don't need it complicated. It's a Sonic game. But like bosses like this, that is, you're individually taking out all of these different things to get to the center, to break it, to get the gems and things. It's like this, I think over time might start to feel a tad tedious. Even watching it, slightly tedious. So some of these bosses, or some of these enemies might feel like it might be worthwhile boosting up some of your skill sets to get to the core of this quicker. And like, can I be bothered doing all of this again? So, because we've not seen, there's no UI at all, and the compression of this is this video. I'm watching this in 4K. It probably looks better for you guys, but this compression is atrocious. And yeah, people are not that happy with it. I think the combat looks fine. Like, I don't need Arkham levels of combat. Sonic being able to like kick and throw and grapple. Like, don't need that. Like, this is kind of enough. Spin, punch, dash. Whatever that dash speed, like some JoJo punches, is probably enough. It's just how tedious are these bosses, and in the full game, because there is no UI, do they have a health bar above, so I can decide, like, is it worth 30 seconds of bang 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 to get 5 gems, or could I just go somewhere, knock down some trees, or find a box somewhere and get 20, like, or complete a puzzle and get more, like, I don't know. It just feels maybe a little tedious. I know in the old in the old 2D games it was literally just jump, leave. Maybe the odd enemy would have maybe 2 hit points and then it leave. Bosses would be a little bit different. But like this, if these are you just basic bad guys, feels a tad tedious. Like, we've just seen this. Let's watch it again. Right, run in, bang bang bang, hit it, come out, wait for it to throw again, go in, bang bang bang. Don't mind that. Like when he is doing a power attack, you get a different bit of a camera angle. Like how plus there is no UI. I don't know how powerful these attacks are. I don't know how much they're chipping away right now. Like, it could be at 50%, could be at 30%, could be nearly dead. I don't know. But it does just feel like a lot of chipping away. Chip, chip, chip. It could get a little bit boring. Like, this is halfway through the combat video. Yeah, that punching animation. I hope they've fixed that or redone it. Just his extra squash and stretch and sort of... I think it's because he's got gangly little arms and massive fists. It just makes it look a bit too weird when they're stretching too much there. God, the compression of this video is bad. It's like an upscaled 720 video into 4K. That's alright. I don't mind that. The fact that you can, like, ensnare several enemies at once with this attack to get rid of them. That's alright, that's good. That might speed a few things up. And these guys, is like, are these worth just avoiding until you've got some good power in you? Like, don't know how early in the game they want you to fight these. Sorry, I'm not bored at I'm not bored at that. It's been up a long time. But it's pretty much just what we've seen. I'm gonna skip a little. I'm gonna skip a little because we just saw this in the last video. So what does this do to this leg? Force it to go up? Right. So we could maybe knock it off balance. Maybe. Don't know. I feel like we've just seen all this. Yeah. Yeah, we've just seen all this. I'll wrap this up here. Not too much new. I thought we'd have got something new, but essentially we had our boy talk over the original footage that we saw, given a few little tidbits which are good. We'll probably get more of that from the interviews in the next video. Which will probably be tomorrow, looking at what time it is now for me. But I'm still intrigued. Am I intrigued enough to be like, I want it? I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like I want to see maybe a different island, a different zone, open zone as it is, with more life. Like, is this wasteland completely barren apart from these weird organic robot looking things? Are there any NPCs to talk to at all? Is there any town or settlements you can go to buy upgrades and this and that? Like, what more is there to this world? Because if it is just this big barren land and it's just Sonic on his Todd, could get a bit tedious. I'm feeling like I like the concept and I'm liking the little bits of what I'm seeing, but if it's this just spread out, I don't know how engaging that's going to be overall. It might get a little tedious too quick and be a game that you like play for like a week or so, then you're like, it's not going anywhere. You put it down, never to be played again. I want it to be good because it is something very different for Sonic, like they've said, and Team Sonic want to be doing something different, but I hope it's not one of those experiments where we're looking back on this in like 5 years' time, and this is memed as much as Sonic Adventures were, or Sonic 06 were, but probably Sonic 06 mostly. I don't know. I want to like it because it's different, and going down the open world Zelda route would be good. Like, would it have been good to give Sonic weapons? Give him a bow and arrow so he could do different attacks, not just based on his speed. Give him something, slingshot, not a gun or a sword, but like something so he could be a little bit stealthy, a spear. I don't know, but like if they're going to go down this open world route and give him extra attacks, it's like, why not give him some kind of weapons as well? I don't know. I'm super on the fence with this one, super on the fence. I'll be doing a video on the 2 interviews. Maybe they'll shed some more light than maybe anything else they do. It is almost July. We've probably got about another 10 days left. They could pull out something out of the bag right at the end to be like, this is more of what the worlds are, given the fact that this is out Christmas time this year. Is slightly worrying. If this is what they're showing, if they're only willing to show an early build, like I said, right at the end of the month they might have a showcase thing with, you know, a 2-minute trailer with all these different lands and worlds, and everything looks a bit more polished and better. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below, what you think of this. I'll see you guys in the video about the interviews tomorrow. Bye bye.